Hello everyone, I've missed you all. You're welcome to my YouTube channel once again. Today I'm going to be talking about something very magical, something a lot of pianists and keyboardists need to learn as beginners. Now, the thing we'll be talking about today is the circle of fifths. Now, the circle of fifths is so magical that people have to go even to PhD level in music to study the circle of fifths just alone. Now, I'll be telling you what the circle of fifths is used for, then I'll practically show you, starting from the most rudimental to the most advanced. Now, the first thing your circle of fifths can do for you is help you in sight reading. That's to teach you the key signature of whatever kind of piece of music you're playing. Secondly, your circle of fifths can stop you from the addiction of transposing if you're learned at it, you get used to it. Then the circle of fifths can also teach you how to use passing chords, because it can teach you how to mix up your chord progression. The circle of fifths, number 4, can be used to write songs. It teaches you how you can progress with your chords in the song. Number 5, your circle of fifths can actually help you learn how to modulate successively. So that is number 5. Then the 6th thing your circle of fifths can help you do. Now, when I say circle of fifths, I'm talking about the circle of fifth and fourth. They are both the same thing. The circle of fourth is just a circle, a fifth backwards. We call it a fourth because it's just a fifth backwards. We'll get to know what I mean by that. Just make sure you watch this video to the end. Now, the 6th thing is finger pedalogy. What I mean by that is fingering. Now, the fingering for all the keys gotten with the circle of fifths are mostly the same. They follow the same pattern. And the fingering for the major scale for all the keys that follow the circle of fourths are also similar. So let's delve into the lesson. We are going to start with the application in sight reading. Now, most of us as beginner pianists or keyboardists find it difficult to sight read. Now, there are 3 major problems with learning how to sight read as with real music. The first is time signature, knowing the rhythm, how it moves. So time signature helps you with rhythm. Then we have key signature. Key signature helps you know the key, your tonal center for the particular piece of music you're playing. Then we begin to look at the harmonic structure, that is how notes are stacked on top of each other. So the circle of fifths helps you to handle the aspect of time signature. What do I mean by that? Now, every absolute beginner is taught that C has no sharps or flats. So when you see a piece of music and you get your grand staff both on the treble and the bass clef beside your time signature, you do not have any sharp or flat written there after your time signature. This shows you are playing in the key of C. What do we mean by that? The major scale of the key of C goes like this. If I add the octave at the top, the octave C, it means I'm playing the diatonic scale. But what I'm saying is this. If you notice, I'm not touching any black key. And this is the reason why on the grand staff, when you are playing in the key of C, you do not see any sharp or flat. Alright, so we begin to look at how the circle of fifths begins to address this. Now, do, re, mi, fa, sol. Now your sol is always a fifth in the major scale ahead of your tonic. That's your do, re, mi, fa, sol. Now, the secret to learning the circle of fifth and applying it to sight reading is that your saw becomes the sharp key. What do I mean by this? Do, re, mi, fa, sol. Now, where is saw in the key of C? It is G. What does this tell you? This tells you in the circle of fifths that G, unlike C, you know C has no sharps or flats. Now, every time you move a fifth in the circle of fifths, you add a black note. Now, what will happen? In the major scale of the key of G, which we just arrived, which is the saw in the key of C, you will notice you have one black key. Can you see this? Now, where do you notice the black key falls in the major scale of G? Watch this magical thing. On your what? On your T. And what is T if we count by numbers? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we have 7. Now, what we are going to be building with this? Now, remember, to get your circle of fifths moving, you're moving from do to saw. Now, since our key of G is our first sharp key containing a sharp at the number 7, that's your T, F sharp. Watch this. We're going to start from G and play to our saw. Now our saw is what? D this time around. What does that tell us? Remember, every time we move in the circle of fifths, we end up having one more black note added. So where does this note come into play? Remember, the first one was on the 7. Now we all know the 7, 3, 6, 2, 5, 1 pattern. Let me spell it out again. 7, 3, 6, 2, 5, 1. Again, 7, 3, 6, 2, 5, 1. I would love you to memorize that pattern, and because that is the pattern that holds the circle of fifths together. So what does this mean? It means the next black key that would be added will be your third note in the scale, the major scale. So remember, do, re, mi, fa, sol ended here, meaning that like we said, we'll have 2 black keys, and we said the black key added this time around will be 3 because we are moving from 7, 3, 6. So we've gotten 7 and we are moving to what? 3. So we are moving do, re. Is that not 3? 1, 2, 3. Can you see? Black key. 4, 5, 6, 7. Can you see? So 7 and 3 are black keys. Let's go again. Remember, we started with the 7, 3, 7, and what? That's it. So our key of D has two black keys. So if you see a piece of music, one sharp, that means you are playing in the key of G. We've seen now that if you have 2 sharps, you're playing in the key of what? D. Now remember, every time you move in the circle of fifths and a sharp is added, what you're simply doing is you are evolving sharps. That means you are having your sharps added. So we call all of them that follow the circle of fifths sharp keys. So our G is our first sharp key, our D is our second sharp key. Now let's move on. We are going to saw again. Oh, we are on A. Following the same pattern, that means A must contain 3 sharps. And where should they be? Remember our pattern, 7, 3, 6. Is it not? That means your 6, your 7, and your 3 are going to be black notes. So, like we said, we are now in the key of A. Remember the pattern, 7, 3, 6. So let's look at the 3 black keys added, the sharps as we may call them. 3. So we have 7, 3, and 6. So 3, 6, and 7. 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 black, 7. So 3, 6, and 7 in the key of A are black keys. So we have the 7, 3, 6 as our black notes in the key of A. So our A is the 3rd sharp key. So let's move again, a 5th. Oh, that takes us to E. So E is our next sharp key. That means E is going to have 4 sharps. Beautiful. Now let's look at E. Now, where will the 4 sharps be? Check out our pattern. 7, 3, 6, 2. Meaning that the new sharp or the new black key will be added as your number 2, which is Re. Please don't forget, these numbers correspond with the solfas of your major scale. Do for 1, Re for 2, Mi for 3, Fa for 4, Sol for 5, La for. So in the key of E, we know now that we are moving with 7, 3, 6, 2. Since it's going to have 4 4 black notes, you'll be having 7, 3, 6, 2. So your new black notes to be added will be number 2. So you'll be having 7, 3, 6, 2. So number 2, 3, 6, and 7 will be black keys. So Do, 2, 3, 6, 7. Can you see it? Magical. You don't need to think too much. 1, 2, 3. So your 2 and 3, your 6 and 7. So it gives you 7, 3, 6, 2. So what is our next sharp key? So is at B. So the sharp key B now must have 5 sharps, following what we have been learning. So you'll be having the pattern 7, 3, 6, 2, 5. Meaning that your saw this time around, your 5th note in the major scale must be black. So you'll be having 5 black keys. You'll be having your 2nd, your 3rd, your 5th, your 6th, and 7th, following that pattern. 2, 3, 4, 5 is black, 6 black, 7 black, and that is the octave. So you don't need to think too much. So you have 5 black keys in that particular key. So if you see a piece of music written and it has 5 black keys, most likely, and if it's a sharp represented by 5 sharps, all right. So the next application, it is most likely apart from passing chords now will be finger pedalogy. What do we mean by that? The major scale fingering. Now remember, we started by saying that the circle of fifths follows a similar fingering pattern. On the left, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 3, 2, 1, backwards 2. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 3, 2, 1, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now what do we mean by this? Every sharp key follows the same pattern. On the right, we have 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 3, 2, 1, backwards. Now, put together, that's how we play the key of C. Now, the next sharp key would also follow this fingering arrangement. That's G. You see why it's always easy when you learn a particular thing in the key of C, you take it to G. The next sharp key is D. You can easily do it because it's also going to have the same fingering pattern. So you have this. Easy peasy. Then you move on. What's the next sharp key? A. You do the same. Following the same circle of fifth pattern. Now, that is A. So the next sharp key will be E rather. Following what we've learned in this lesson. Easy peasy. From E, we then have B. Then, for the flat keys, finger pedalogy. Now, what you need to learn is that the finger pedalogy of the flat keys follows this one rule. Your thumb always stays on F and C. What that means is that you can never use your thumb to start on a black key. Gotten? Right. So we are going to start with F. Can you see? So we are supposed to end here. This would be an error in music. So you do this. F and C. F and C. Alright, so what's the next flat key? B flat. Can you see C again? C on F. Beautiful. The next flat key, E flat. Can you see your thumb again on F? So, thumb again. Beautiful. The next flat key, you know this is 3, the next is going to be our flat 6, so we'll be having this. Can you see it again? So, again, so the pattern follows. So, finger pedalogy, gotten. So once you get it, your fingering becomes very smooth. Your fingering becomes absolutely smooth. Then the last thing we are going to be looking at as we conclude on this circle of fifths and fourths is the fact that you can use them to create wonderful songs. Ending of songs, beginning of songs. Now, that will lead me to talk about the last thing as we conclude. And we'll be looking at how we can use this to write songs, how we can use it to spice up our progressions. Now, we're not talking about passing chords or the rest. So, I would like to start with the circle of fourths and introduce the concept of negative harmony using the circle of fourths. Now, what do I mean by this? Now, remember, we used our C as our center, our standard. What I'm going to simply do now is showing us how to approach C using the circle of fourths, then how to approach C looking at the circle of fifths. The circle of fourths moves from darker to brighter, so it has one pleasant, fulfilling sound, while our circle of fifths moves from darker to brighter. Now, if you follow the circle of fourths, we start from F to B flat, to E flat, to A flat, and our D flat. So if we move this in the reverse direction, starting from D flat, major chords only, how does this sound? From the darker parts, this is negative harmony. Imagine I wanted to end a song and I choose to end it that way, like this. Just follow the circle of fourths from the end to the beginning, from where we started, from where we ended to where we started. So we have this. You are going to see originally, but you decided to move in the circle of fourths. So that's what we call negative harmony. For the last time. Now let's look at its counterpart in the circle of fifths. Follow me quickly. This is, we have C to G to D to what? A to what? E, and then to B. So let's start from B. B takes us to E, E takes us to A takes us to D, D takes us to G, and so forth. So we end on C. So B, E, A, D, G, and this. So you see, you're going from bright to darker. For the last time, this. Can you see? Then D. Beautiful way to end a song. So please make sure you leave a comment after watching this video. God bless you for watching. I hope I've made impact.